Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Coach Tyler Simmons. I'm going to go over the A skip as a part of the speed dynamic warm-up and working into that progression into sprinting form. I'm going to use my athlete for a college football player athlete and show you how to do it. So the key points we're looking for here is ankle dorsiflexion, knee getting up and driving with hip flexion. We're looking for locomotion with the arms, so the arms swinging forward and backward nice and smoothly. And we're looking for upright posture, making sure that we're not getting kyphotic or using the back to overcompensate for lack of knee drive. So I'm going to turn to the athlete here, and we're going to go through the A skip. And shift to side, and we'll go 10 yards, ready, and go. Tighten up. And good. So excellent job there. All he's doing is making sure that he maintains posture. So a little bit, he's rounding a little bit into his spinal flexion, or just a tad. Wasn't too bad, wasn't something too concerning, but he was driving through the balls of the feet, okay, which was where you wanted to provide force to spring into the next one. Not spending too much time applying force, you want to be springing out of each one, which is causing a pop while he does the A skip, okay? So now progressing into the high knees. So we went one knee drive at a time, popping through the balls of the feet for the A skip. Now we're going to go into a rapid fire by using the high knees as a way to focus on accelerating and driving the knee, ankle, and hip into a triple extension. So he's going to go through high knees. He's focusing on keeping upright posture, driving the arms forward and backward, and making contact with the balls of the feet at a rapid rate. Okay, getting full triple extension each time. Okay, so he's going to do a rapid fire as many reps as he can. Okay, we'll go for about 5 to 10 yards, and you're going to see right here. Ready? And begin. And relax. Good. So that's what you want there. You want maximum knee flexion without hunching the back, without rounding the back. Okay, maintaining good posture. Okay, you can have a slight forward torso lean, which resembles good acceleration, but making sure that that torso lean doesn't turn into kyphotic posture, so that we maintain triple extension to get the heat extension of the knee, hip, and dorsiflexion of the ankle all at the same time for triple extension. So next we're going to go into falling start. So we did the A skip, we did the high knees, and now we're going to go into a falling start. So the falling start actually places you into a forward lean with the torso, and then allows you to get already into that maximum hip extension, dorsiflexion, and knee extension. Okay, but it's going to be bilateral, and then you turn it into the unilateral as you proceed forward and catch yourself in accelerated form. So all we're looking for is for the athlete to fall, okay, keeping the hips locked in place as far as they can go until gravity kind of takes over with force, and then using that leverage to take off into a spring, okay? So, start from the side. Move a little bit closer so you guys can see. So, the athlete's gonna start falling forward. Okay, keep toes up, toes up, toes up. Drive through. Okay. Good. All right, so that was good. So, from that falling position, he was able to get into dorsiflexion, knee extension, and hip extension, and drive right into that force, making sure he kept a good acute angle, okay, not less than 90 degrees, driving the balls of his feet through the ground to provide force into unilateral triple extension, into a sprint in accelerated form, driving the arms, okay, and getting triple extension, providing force, okay. So that was really good. Things that we were looking for in that, okay, anytime we look in accelerated form, and especially in the falling start, is that you don't start to hunch over to overcompensate, just like anything behind these A skips, which is why we start there. So a lot of guys will tend to fall, and as they fall, they get scared and begin to fold at the hip or hinge, and then that ruins the triple extension of which the falling start kind of progressed to. Next, we're going to go into a push-up to sprint as an explosive accelerative speed drill. Right, so you can start from his chest, and that's going to force him to drive out as hard as he can from low resistance at the bottom of the push-up. So it's going to be on cue. Ready? And go. Awesome job. So there, all we're looking for is that he doesn't waste time getting into a false step. A lot of times, guys will get into the push-up stance, and then they will buffer their movement. We want to get right into ankle flexion, dorsiflexion, ankle dorsiflexion, and drive right out. We don't want to waste too much time, so often you'll see guys, they'll go down, and they'll focus on getting up, accelerating out, but by the time I get up and try to come out, you see happening, these guys are here. Again, if we're in that forward start position, we want to be here. with the hip and extension, and that kind of overrides that. So he did a good job there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do deceleration. So now we're getting to transitioning into agility work. The first thing I want to do is go on cue for the deceleration. So he's going to go into a 50% sprint into deceleration. You can work yourself up 50, 75 to 100. Just kind of making sure that he can withhold his position and transition from going from full-on speed work to now controlling that speed and buckling down an athletic position. So we're going to start at 50% on my cue. When I say go, he's going to accelerate. When I say hit, he's going to actually decelerate into rapid eccentric motion where he can be in a 2-point stance. Okay? Ready? And go. Hit. And relax. Okay, simple relax. And go. Hit. And relax. Okay, so the key things we're looking for there is that he is not pitty-pattering too much. You don't want to hear too much loud of crash. And you want to make sure that he's in athletic position. Shoulders chest just over the knees. Okay, on the balls of the feet, right in the midfoot. Not too much on the toes, leaning over. Okay, good nudge, slings your spine, ready to go. Because that athlete, like a linebacker, okay, in college football, you'll have to go forward, lateral, back, okay, 45 degrees. And you just have to be ready in optimal position to be able to handle force as well in that contact sport. Okay. All right, for this next drill, we're going to do a 90-degree bend. So as a linebacker, as a middle linebacker, and other positions too, you have to evade, you have to do a lot of bending, a lot of breathing. So what we're going to do next is a 90-degree bend. That's where typically we have a cone, but you can also use an object like a wall or a fence in order for that athlete to go as far as they can and simply break down chest over toes and drive and weave that hip outside into where they need to go. So right now he's going to do a 90-degree bend. Going to his right, and we're going to see if he can control his body. We want to stay as sharp to the turn as possible without pitty-pattering and losing our acceleration and speed. Okay? So, ready? And go. Nice job. So again, he's trying to stay as fast as possible, sitting the hips low, using his hips to not only essentially control that force, but then spring back out into acceleration when he changes direction from linear, from going straight to bending to the right. All right? All right, the next drill we're going to do is a figure eight drill. The figure eight, all he's going to do is work on weaving in and out of cones. Right now we're using dumbbells as cones, but 2 markers to break down, change direction, and reaccelerate through a small object in a tight space. Okay, which is very pertinent to the sport of football and many other sports as well. Okay, especially when you're trying to get around defenders and etc. So, you're going to start on one side of the cone. And go. It's going to wrap around, sit, weave, and drive straight through. Okay. Key things you're looking for there is that there's not too much foot contact. You're not trying to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 steps. You're going to have as minimum foot contact as possible by using the outside hip to transition, sit the chest over the toe, whip around, and get back into acceleration. Okay, as fast as possible. That's right. You know I'm a big guy. That's fine. All right, guys. The last drill is the L drill. The L drill is a very popular football drill. It's a very popular drill in many sports, but this is a combination of like the multiple drills we just did in terms of acceleration, change of direction, weaving in and around for a figure eight movement, touching and going. So, but there's a lot of change of direction in linebacker position. We're going to go over now. So, what he's going to do is he's going to start in athletic position. You can go 2-point or you can go 3-point. It depends on the coach. Okay, I'm going to allow him to go 2-point stance. Okay, from that position, he's going to touch the first cone, which is 5 yards. He has to touch at least the line with his hand. Come back, touch the beginning line, wrap around that second cone, figure 8 around the third cone, wrap around that second cone, and finish off straight through as fast as possible. Okay, so he's touching, figure 8, finish through. All right, let's watch him do it. So he has his 3 markers, and begin. Touch, figure 8 around, sit the hips, and finish on all the way through. Okay? Excellent job. So key things we're looking for there, obviously that they're making contact with the ground when they change direction. We're looking for them to be able to sit their hips, keep chest up, hold toes, not take too many choppy steps, and be able to complete pretty much all the athletic movements possible, staying tight to the cones throughout each and every part of the drill. This shows complete body control. It shows weaving, the ability to change direction, all different facets. And there's different times for different skill positions in football, in which are considered tier systems for athletic abilities when it comes to playing the sport and how it translates to it. And he just did a great job showing that example right there. So that's it for some speed and agility movement that I would take an outside linebacker, middle linebacker, or a linebacker, or any football player really through in terms of in-season agility training. A lot of the agility training that I just showed you is more is sport specific, but the most sport specific agility training that you'll get is actually going to be in practice when there's actual players that you actually have to defend and go through. Because there's nothing like a stimulus of another opponent being in front of you that you have to mirror in real time. And it's really hard to mimic that change of direction at the pace in which football players are going to, especially at an in-season pace when guys are running certain speeds. You know, at the college level, you know, you have opponents that are going to be running 4.3s, 4.4s, 4.5s, 4.6s that you're going to have to mirror. And it's a lot different when those guys are at that level. It's hard to mimic with cones and things like that. But in terms of in-season agility drills that we can help create a stimulus for, these are some drills that we can implement and continue to develop that athlete. That's all I have. Thank you for watching.